Take a look at this short clip and think about what the make and model of this vehicle might be. At the end of the video, I'll tell you what it is. Hey, this is Gallagher. Today we're taking a look at an 86 Pontiac Fiero. Pontiac was itching for another performance car and wanted something to carve through the canyons. But GM wouldn't build anything to compete with their favorite child, the Corvette. And so Pontiac sold the Fiero as a fuel-efficient sport compact to the executives. And on the heels of the oil crisis, it was greenlit in 1978. Pontiacs at the time had a stigma of being bland and outdated, and the higher-ups in Pontiac needed that to change. The Fiero was to be one of the first cars for Pontiac that would help differentiate itself from its cousins by being, quote, exciting and different. And the Fiero was just that. The Fiero was exciting and different from one end to the other. To aid in fuel economy, but primarily to contribute to on-road performance and handling, the decision was made to make it mid-engined, as well as to use composite plastic body panels. But a lack of overall executive support and a shoestring development budget as compared with other models made the Fiero a hodgepodge of good and bad. It was uniquely developed as a mid-engine performance GM car, but instead of tailoring the suspension and drivetrain to this special vehicle, GM reached into the parts bin and handed the engineers tired, outdated parts. Gone was the desired aluminum block V6. Here was the old and heavy GM Iron Duke 4-cylinder. As a result of the hand-me-down suspension and ill-fitting choice of engine, the Fiero's performance on the road and track was on par with existing vehicles and was fairly ordinary. But the experience was still anything but. People loved this wildly styled and still revolutionary sports car from Pontiac, so much so that they couldn't keep up with production. Unfortunately, however, a few years after its release, the Fiero started to show signs of its cost-saving measures, and began to make a name for itself that stuck ever since. The poor choice of engine and the actions taken to make it work made it to where roughly 1 out of every 500 Fieros sold would burst into flames. Not something that is good for your brand image. But fortunately, if you were in an accident and your Fiero didn't explode, it did have a 5-star crash safety rating due to its body-on-space frame design, second only to the Volvo 240DL at the time. Impressive. Although various upgrades came over its lifespan, such as a more powerful V6 and much-needed brake and suspension upgrades, they came too late. And on August 16, 1988, the last Fiero rolled off the Pontiac, Michigan plant line. This only scratches the surface of the Fiero story, but if it wasn't for mismanagement, which in turn caused disappointing initial performance, dangerous defects, and bad press, we may have seen more Fieros sold over a longer lifespan. Perhaps Pontiac and the Fiero could still be around today. Probably not, but you never know. Either way, let's look over this junkyard gem.
You got it, Pontiac.
So you can see this thing has seen better days, but it is in a junkyard. Somebody also spray painted the wheels black, but they kind of look to be original. Well, that one may be original as well, but not what it would have left the showroom with. Yeah, Pontiac. These are pretty neat wheels. I'd put these on something else in a heartbeat. This one had the sunroof. Of course, these are mid-engine vehicles, so they've got the front trunk here. These guys have pop-up headlights as well. Oh, and look, the forward-raked radiator. Help keep that wedge shape that these have. Typical Chevy front end, honestly, of the time. It's that same cool Pontiac wheel there. Let's take a look inside. Door opened well enough. Basic gray, more basic gray. Honestly, it looks like it was embroidered at one point and somebody cut it out. Oh, what is it? Ooh, you know, I might do the same thing. That's kind of neat. That is kind of neat. Ah, it's got the Corvette, like the C4, and I don't honestly know too many other cars that did that, but it's got the e-brake in the wrong place, in my opinion. Whoa! Just like a Corvette, you sit into this thing. You jump in. 138,000 miles. I'm surprised it made it that far. Unfortunately, it does have some buttons for the climate controls. It shouldn't, but it does. What the heck? A little pocket? Does it? It doesn't have a glove box. It's just got this lame little pocket here with some stuff. This guy went into place there. And then we had Some more Fiero stuff. Looks like power window controls were like here or something. Unfortunately, they're not supposed to be there, but that's where they are. Manual sunroof. Still halfway works. Yeah, let's just... Neat. Yeah, I'm keeping that. Oh, it's got the cool Chevy lights. So you can push like just that to have your parking lights on, and then that to have your headlights, or you can just push the whole thing and everything goes in. So it's like a mechanical means to solve a very tiny problem of having to push 2 buttons, or just have it progressive where the further you go. But either way, you know, it works, it's neat, it's different. They did that in a few different vehicles, their pickup trucks and etc. Wonder what was here. I do not know. Really? Oh, and they're metal. Really cool door handles. I like that. What the? Lock on. These buttons are lights. They do not want to go in on either side. Interesting. Well, let's keep moving. Here's an air intake. Immediately as you're stepping out of the vehicle, along with the fuel door, which the release is not visible immediately. You know, these cars didn't do it for me. I prefer the Toyota MR2, you know, vehicles of this class, whatever you want to call it. Oh, hasn't even caught on fire. Looks to probably have been rebuilt and repainted at one. Oh, definitely repainted. Look at that delightful spray paint work on the plug wires. Looks like they didn't run coolant for a while here in the beautiful desert of Phoenix, Arizona. I don't know if I'd call it beautiful again, but the desert of Phoenix, Arizona. It doesn't freeze. And so, no antifreeze required. Well, it is still required, but interesting. I wonder if that was a factory, or it almost looks factory, because if you look, you can see the paint like comes up to here and stops as far as the faded, and then it's reasonably good shape right there. Even still kind of shiny. You can see that Cherokee in the background. So that might have been a factory wing. Another little hole. I wonder what this was for. Smellerizer. Make the engine smell better. That's about that. Thanks for watching. On to the next one. A 1993 Oldsmobile Achieva S. When's the last time you saw one of these?